Runaways Season 2. I really don't think a lot of people have probably watched this show, so I don't know how many people are going to watch this spoiler review that I'm about to do. I do have the non-spoiler one, my soundedbettermyhead.com. Read that if it sounds interesting. Maybe you'll like the show. Maybe the spoiler review is going to be what sells you on it. I think it's worth watching. I gave it, I believe, 3.5 stars out of 5. Thought the ending of season 1 was weak. You know, they defeated the bad guy. It wasn't that wasn't even that great of a fight scene. And then the kids finally running away at the end, and nothing really that spectacular happened. And they were accused of murder. The big thing is that they are the Runaways, so it's nice that this season that they are away from home pretty much the whole time, except for a few emergencies. They found their headquarters, the hostel, which I still don't know how this mansion was kind of like inside the cliff. I don't know, there was some kind of rock slide we didn't know about at some point and cover this thing. It was never explained, but whatever, it worked for the show overall. And I think season 1, the kids' storyline was better defined. Season 1 was about them, they found out their parents were murderers and them trying to get to the truth, and then for the most part trying to take their parents down, where the parents were just kind of reacting. Seems like this season the kids were mostly kind of reacting, because granted they're on the run, and the parents were actively trying to get the kids back, and also they wanted to take out Jonah. And like this year, like Alex was about the only one that was obsessed with making their parents pay and go to jail. Everyone else didn't seem to really give a shit one way or another about their parents. They just pretty much wanted to stay away from them. There was a lot of stories that kind of came and went that should have been like a big deal. Like they really set up Topher, and I have not read the Runaways comics, but I know he's like a major character. He basically, I think 3 episodes maybe, he was in and out. They brought him in, gave him some weird tweaked origin that tied into Molly's origin, which seemed like that could have really went somewhere with that, and then he was possibly dead. Like he just kind of came and went. It was a weird storyline. There was some other ones that just kind of, a lot of the church stuff would kind of come and go. The whole weird thing about Frank trying to take command of the church. I mean, realistically, Leslie should have just bailed. Said, you know what, you're in charge of the church. I don't care what you do with it. I'm out of here. And that could have been the end of it. I know, and that got dragged down. You got her thing with her mom, and that was so short-lived. There's like 2 episodes with her mom, and mom stays behind. And so just a lot of stuff kind of came in and did 2-3 episodes and was gone. The stuff with AWOL, you know, that whole standoff was kind of weird. It like seemed like that was building somewhere. He took out Flores. He's going to be like the new top guy for the Pride, and then he's gone basically. It's not the worst thing. It is kind of like a comic book arc where you're doing 2-3 issues, and then instead you're 2-3 episodes here. But it just felt like they were trying to kill time. They upped their show to 13 episodes a season, and it just seemed like they were struggling. The interaction with the kids was good. You know, a lot of people coupling up now. The Chase and Gert stuff was pretty good. I mean, she was kind of loopy in the first few episodes. She didn't have her meds. The Carolina and Nico romance was probably a little better done for the most part. This seemed, I mean, I know that they were on the run and they're stressed out, but this seemed like you have more of the Runaways at each other's throats than had them, being friends. I could have used a little bit more of that. I mean, the highlight, nice emotional moments like when they did the quinceanera for Molly. That was a great moment of everybody to come together, and then of course they throw a monkey wrench in it and Chase ditches them. But they did work together a lot better. Like there's a lot more mini missions, and good amount of the time they got to come together and use their abilities or their skills to get out of it. And it was nice kind of seeing that little bit of superhero flavor of them stepping up their game. They just wish they had really someone to go after more often. Till you get to your mid-season, what felt like a mid-season finale, the 7th episode. But really a game changer. All the aliens are supposedly killed, and the big bad, and this still takes everything in a new direction after that. One big complaint about last season was that there was just zero references to the MCU, anything to do with Marvel. I think your biggest Marvel reference was somebody picking up a Spider-Man Pez, which actually seemed almost a little contradictory because it's weird that Spider-Man was barely known to the public and he got a Pez dispenser. At least I think it was a Spider-Man. It's been a while since I've seen it. Or Doctor Strange kind of hinted that Nico's mom was there and she got the staff of one from the Masters of the Mystic Arts, and then of course the show completely ignored that and basically said that the staff was not even magical, it was technological. But anyways, this season they finally had a few nods towards the MCU. There was the Wakanda mention, which is brief, but it's just enough to finally kind of connect it to that bigger world. And then the big one is Nico using that staff of one and the effect that looks pretty similar to Caecilius from the Doctor Strange movie, where she's using dark magic and the eyes are kind of going purpley. It was really got a lot of potential. And then her mom hinting that the staff's not possibly just a technological device and that she's seen this before, so maybe that would finally tie into Doctor Strange. We'll see. And then of course it was pretty predictable, but seeing that 3 of the parents were possessed by the aliens from the spaceship, really gonna be hard to guess who the 4th one is. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't even decide who the 4th alien is. Is it really one of the kids? Is it Leslie's baby? Who knows? You know, they'll probably make a decision by next season if they get one. They haven't announced yet. Really don't got a ton else to say about the show. I'll do my little whip through the notes, things that I thought were interesting, worth mentioning. Thought the first episode was a little silly, that they found the kids right away, which I was kind of scared that they were. Just like, hey, they're just going to undo that storyline and bring the kids back. It was funny that they were all these kids that kind of looked like them, but it was kind of corny that there are kids out there that look just like them. Oh, and one thing I didn't mention, overall the special effects were pretty solid. You know, the dinosaur looked good, the Vistagon blast looked good, the stuff with the staff of one looked good, everything looked good, except for every time there was an earthquake, all they pretty much did was just take the camera and shake the shit out of it. Like, not even anything moving in the background. And it was just corny. It was like the most low budget thing you could do, and it was obvious, and I thought it was laughable. Thought there was a little bit more about how dangerous this house could have been that they moved into. It was inside a cliff. They had a big earthquake. A big pillar fell over, and Molly just put it back up. I mean, it just seemed like something else could have went wrong and fell or hurt somebody, or that pillar could have came back. And they just kind of forgot about it after that. Another thing I realized, you try to kind of want to root for the parents a little bit. Like maybe they're redeeming themselves. All these sacrifices they did were because of Jonah, and now they're trying to get out of that. They didn't want to do these, and every time you almost feel like sympathy for them. Like one turns around and like murders somebody. I mean, they murdered Molly's. I think she was our aunt. There was a few other people they just pretty ruthlessly took out. They took out Darius. They don't really have any morals. Just drug in people from the Pride Foundation just to test out their stuff over and over again. Unfortunately, knowing what little bit I know about Topher from the books, there was pretty much nothing he could do that would convince me to support his character. And he got the trust of everybody on the team a little too quickly too. He basically just stole a computer for them that they wanted, and they were all cool with him. And then right after that, he was off the show. It was nice that they finally got into the origin of Jonah. We see how he's able to take other bodies, that he is officially an alien, that there was an alien ship down there. Took till I think the final episode for them to reveal what species alien is, which was, I mean, it's obvious, but it was just, at least it's finally out there. Another last minute addition to the show. Another last minute was Zavin. I believe that's the name of the character. I could be wrong. I had to go look up her comic book origins. Considering they really couldn't use the Skrulls yet at this point, it was one big toy that Marvel probably won't let them play with yet. They did the next best thing. They took another shape-shifting alien race. The character was annoying, and it was very cliche, the whole thing. I don't know. It just didn't win me over. But But hopefully she gets some better writing as she comes back next season, presuming she comes back next season, and we'll see where they go with it from there. Everyone was always so terrified of Jonah. There was never really any proof that he was such a badass. At least there was one scene where he took out Alex's dad, where you see, okay, at least he does have some kind of powers. But it just seemed like if they all tried to, take him out, they could have. I mean, they just never show why they should be so afraid of him. And another cute moment was when Chase got the sodium pentothate, the truth serum. There's some, again, kind of cliche moments of him being high and saying silly stuff, but it was funny. He made it work. Not really anything else too crazy to really point out. I did go ahead and do my favorite episodes and least favorite. My favorite was episode 7. Just the big, climatic battle. It was sort of like a part 2 of the big dig site battle from the first season, but a little bit better. You had the badass moment of Nico flying out of the hole with her using the staff, and then later on her using the staff to kill Jonah. Just badass moment for her. Overall, it's a pretty solid episode. I'd have to say episode 12, where they introduced Zab officially. It was just corny. They did the corniest Scooby-Doo villain maneuver where, first of all, you see her kind of looking at someone from behind, you don't see who she is, which is okay. Then they did the old school, super cliche, looking through a painting on the wall. I mean, this is so corny that she would have drilled holes in it, and so it was just so cheesy and stupid, and just did not work for me. But I really don't got, like I said, I don't got a lot to say about the show. I know a lot of people don't watch it. I would recommend it. I would, obviously if you don't see season 1, it's gonna throw you off, and you're not gonna know anything, why these kids are on the run. But it was pretty solid. That's about all I got. Thanks for watching.